go, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Mask down, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to talk about something that I constantly get asked, and that is where to set your take profit. Now, this is a very, very important subject because if you don't have your take profit levels set, or if you're not manually taking profits, you're never going to be a profitable trader. It's very common for people to get into trading, get really good at TA, and get into their positions, get really good at finding those setups, but a lot of people struggle with getting too greedy and just trying to squeeze some extra gains out of the market and never taking profit, only to ride their trade all the way back down into the red, and you do not want to be one of those people. So in today's video, I'm going to cover 3 different ways that you can set your take profit levels using completely different tools. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of these great tutorials or urgent market updates that we upload to the channel. Now, like I said, taking profit is one of the most important parts of trading, obviously, because if you don't take your profits, you're never going to make any money. And why else are you in this game if you're not looking to make money? Now, this is a lot easier said than done because once you get into those trades, especially as a new trader, the emotions and the greed can kind of just creep up on you and prevent you from taking profits because you're going to try to squeak that last little bit of profit out. But hey, if you wind up doing that, you're inevitably going to wind up riding a lot of your trades down. And if you don't take profits, you're going to wind up round tripping your trades, meaning you're going to get into a good position. It's going to ride up into profit, but it's never going to be enough for you. You're not going to take profit, and it's going to turn back around and go right back to your entry and potentially into the red, because I assume if you don't have your take profit levels set, you probably don't have a stop loss set. So this is super, super important, guys. If you want to be a profitable trader, you have to learn not only that you have to take profit and that you want to set limit orders for your take profits, but obviously another really, really important aspect to this is where to set your take profits. So we're going to cover 3 different methods that you can use to set your take profits so you don't miss out on any gains. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the charts. I'm going to show you those 3 different tools you can use to set your take profits, and I'm going to kind of talk to you about how to set multiple take profit levels so you can lock in gains, move your stop loss to your entry point, making it a risk-free trade. That way, you're locking in a guaranteed win without missing out on extra money. Let's get into it. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin 4-hour chart. Now, time frame doesn't really make a difference here, but I want to jump into the 3 different tools that you can use to take profits, so you're not just pulling profit at some random level. Now, a lot of people, when they're looking at take profit levels, they might just think of setting a percentage, right? I'm going to jump in and I want to ride this trade for at least 5% profit. Now, let me just explain to you real quick why that doesn't work. That doesn't work because let's look at this little pump and dump scam that happened right here back in September. Now, let's just go ahead and say that you wanted to long it for whatever reason. You knew it was going to go up right here, and you wanted to long it for about 5% profit. Now, that trade would have rode you up, right? And you would have gotten about 5% profit, no problem. But by setting that take profit level just based off of a percentage, a random number, sure, you got your 5%, but look at all of the gains you missed out on. Now, the reason why you don't want to just set a random number, the chart doesn't care about your random percentage, right? Just like stop losses, you want to set your take profit levels based off of essentially support and resistance. You want to take profit just before you hit a level that you're expected to bounce away from. So the first tool we're going to take a look at, guys, is, yes, you guessed it, volume profiles. Now, obviously, we do have a bunch of different volume profile tools, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and use the fixed range volume profile, and that is located 7 tools down on your left-hand side of TradingView. You're going to want to open up this draw and come all the way down to the bottom until you see fixed range volume profile. I'm going to go ahead and star it, but let's go ahead and use the bar replay mode so I can show you how to find better take profits using the fixed range volume profile tool. Now, using this fixed range volume profile, I have pulled a fixed range right here to analyze the volume of these candles, right? Now, let's just go ahead and say that I'm trading this range and I'm waiting for price to come up into resistance. Maybe we come up to the value area high, maybe we come up a little bit higher, but essentially we are waiting to come to the highs of the range to potentially short it back to the downside. Now, let's go ahead and move price forward and see if we can get price to rise up so we can short it back down. Boom. So now we are getting a move out of the value area, which we know is likely for us to get sucked back into the value area. So now this is kind of where you start to think maybe there's a short opportunity here. And this is not a trading strategy video. This is a take profit strategy video. So I'm not going to go into why I would enter this trade or get into the specifics because I want to focus on just the take profit levels. But I cover this extensively on my YouTube channel. So definitely go check out my volume profile playlist if you want to learn more about how to trade like this. Now, if I were to take a short position from this level, where would the most logical take profit levels be? Now, this obviously depends on if you're looking for a swing trade or a day trade or a scalp trade. Depending on what time frame you're trading on, this will obviously vary. Once we come out of the value area, we know that it is possible to catch support on top of this level. So it might be a good idea to take a little bit of profit before you hit this value area high and test it as support in the off chance that we get some support and bounce much higher. It would be a good idea to take a little profit off the table here and maybe move your stop loss down a little bit into profit or to your break even level to make it a guaranteed winning trade. Because if we get a strong bounce here and we continue upward, this short will be invalidated, especially if we break these highs up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my short position tool and we're gonna enter right here on this current price, right? And your stop loss, obviously you could set it above your last swing high, but we will have a new stop loss video coming out with a bunch of other techniques, but that's for another video. We're gonna focus on the take profit levels here. Now, could you take profit at this value area high? Sure, it's a 2.5% move. Now, this wouldn't be a great risk to reward ratio, but you wanna remember this is just gonna be your first take profit. You're not closing the whole trade here, which is another key to taking profit. I highly recommend that you take profit more than once. You don't just wanna go for the moon and close your whole trade at one level. Now, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you want to guarantee a winning trade while also not missing out on more potential profit, then what you want to do is set your take profit to maybe take out 20%, 30%, whatever it is for you, to take that percentage out of your trade, lock in the profits, and then move your stop loss to your entry point. That way, it's a guaranteed win. And if price comes back up, you'll hit your break-even stop loss and you will have the profit that you already took. And if price continues down, you'll still have a majority of the trade in to capitalize on the rest of those gains. Now, this would be a pretty quick move here for a 2.5% move, but you could take a little profit right before this value area high. Now, this is the 4-hour chart, so I would expect a bigger move out of a higher time frame like this. But the idea here is you would want to take profit right before the value area high because it could act as support. And if we come down and get a bounce, you're not going to want to hold this trade past these highs because you're going to get wrecked. So what I would suggest is maybe take a little money off of this table, or if you have a little bit of a higher risk tolerance or you're really confident in the trade and you're pretty sure that you're going to fall back down into this value area, the first level I would really target would be the point of control. Because we know that when we come out of the value area and we don't bring any new volume in, which we actually do have a bit of volume up here, as you can see, we've ranged up here before. But if we don't hold above this value area high and we come back into the value area, we know that if price comes like this, maybe we get a little bounce, but if we break back into here, we know that it's very likely to come back down to that point of control. So using volume profile, the easiest place to set your take profit in this case in a short, if you break back down into that value area, would be that point of control. And you can see that we have a big volume gap here. So you can expect if price does break back into the value area, you could get a pretty quick move down to that point of control. Now, if we had a big spike in volume, say here as well, well, you can see that high volume node and you can put a horizontal level on that spike in volume, and that also might make a good point to take some profit because you know the high volume node is going to act as support. So let's go ahead and move this trade forward and see if we can get break back into the value area. Now, we did technically get stopped out there, but this stop loss was roughly set because I want to focus on the take profits, but we'll assume you did not get stopped out. We'll say that you set your stop loss above these past swing highs. And we'll say this trade did not get stopped out, and we are continuing down just for educational purposes. And you can see we are now coming down to that value area high. And let's see if we get a bounce. We do not. We do get a tiny little bounce. You can see that with the little green candle there. But we are starting to break back down into the value area. And boom, you can see we did get that quick move down through the low volume gap. And we are targeting that POC as our profit target. And we did actually not hit it. But price kind of wiggles around a little bit, and then we finally come down and hit that take profit. But you could see we did print a green candle here, so we may actually get a little bit of a bounce here. I actually do also see a bullish divergence, so it is likely we will come up at least a little bit here. And we did actually lose this level, but that bull div did play out and give us a bounce back to that value area high. But that does show why it is important to take profit just before that support level, because if you don't make it all the way down there, you want to make sure you get that profit before you bounce off the level. But the main idea here is that we knew the gap was here, so we knew if we broke into that value area high, we would target that POC, and we knew it would be a pretty quick move because of the volume gap. You could also see that volume gap coming into play by this move right here, this violent move through the low volume gap up to the next high volume node, which is right here. And you can see it also right here. We ripped through that low volume gap, and then right here we came down pretty fast as well. Now, I do just want to take the time to show you guys, not only can you use the point of control as a target, but because of the nature of volume profiles, you can also use the value area high as a target, as well as, like I was saying before, just using your volume, seeing that high volume node and seeing that price has stuck to these levels up here, you can expect that to be a level of resistance, and it could be a good level to take some profit. So let's say you see price retesting that point of control. Well, let's say you're seeing some bullish confirmations and you want to go ahead and scalp long this. Now, if you did have your confirmations and you knew it was probable to come up, you could target just below your value area high right here, because you know if price comes up to your value area high, it is likely for it to act as resistance. So you would want to take profits just before that level. So let's go ahead and move time forward here and see if we can get a move to the upside. And boom. You see right there, we got a move up to that value area high. Let's see if we get any resistance at it. We blasted right through it in that case, but it is likely for you to find resistance on these value area highs. It doesn't happen 100% of the time, but if we did get rejected here, you would be very happy that you took some profit off the table. And if you're just taking part of your trade out here, you could set your take profit number 1 right there, and then you can target this high volume node as your second take profit level. And let's go ahead and put our horizontal line there. And if you put your take profit there, obviously we did wick up, and I believe we probably are going to reject off of this level. And boom, there you go. This is a perfect example of why you would want to take profit at this high volume node, because you know it's going to act as resistance. So you're going to want to take your profits out. Whether you want to take your full position out or just a part of your position, that's up to you. But like I said, it's always a good idea to take a little bit out of the trade and then move your stop loss to your entry point. And when possible, move your stop loss all the way into profit. That way, price will ride up, you'll take some more profit, and then you will come down and get stopped out for a guaranteed winning trade. So if you're shorting the value area high, you can target that POC or any high volume nodes that are between the value area high and the POC. In this specific case, we have a giant gap. So the most logical place to put your take profit in this case would be that point of control, which you can see playing out right now. And if you were longing, obviously you would target the value area high because you're going in the opposite direction. And again, you have that low volume gap. So you're targeting the value area high. And you know, if you break that level, you have another high volume node up here that is likely to act as resistance. So you can set another take profit up at that level and you get rejected. So not only can you use the value area high, the value area low, and the POC as profit targets depending on the context of your trade, but you can also use high volume nodes, even if there's not a value area high or a POC there. If you see that high volume node, you know that's resistance, and you know it could be a good level that we could get a rejection or a bounce off of. Therefore, you would want to grab your money before you interact with that level. So now I want to move on to our second method for setting your take profit levels, and that is going to be using your fib retracement. And that's going to be using your Fibonacci tools. Now, I'm going to get rid of our volume profile here, but I want to use the same area of price action for this example. So let's rewind just a little bit more. Now we're here on the 30-minute chart, and I'm going to show you guys how you can use your Fibonacci tools to find your take profit levels. Now, the first example I'm going to look at here is this bullish divergence on the 30-minute, and let's go ahead and say we know we have key levels down here. Again, this is not a trading strategy video. This is just to show you where to set your take profits, or just a few different techniques that you can use to set your take profits. There are many different ways to do it, but these are some of the easier ones. Now, if we're going to go ahead and take this long position off of this bullish divergence, and we're acting like we have key support down here, we may or may not. I'm not going to take the time to go look at it because we're just doing this for an example, but we want to long this level, but where do we set the take profit? Now, what we can do to try to predict where price will get rejected from, which is where we're going to want to take some profits, so we could go ahead and come up to these highs right here and pull our fib all the way down to the low that we've created at the bottom right here with this blue candle. And we can see here that we do have a few levels above us that could act as resistance. And that first one is going to be this 236 fib level. So I'm going to set our first take profit right below that level. And let's go ahead and see our next level right here is that 382. So I'm going to put our take profit number 2 right before that fib level as well. And let's see if we can get this to play out. Boom, you see it right there. We set our take profit right below that fib level, and we came and hit it perfectly and then got a little bit of a bounce down. Now, at this point, you can move your stop loss into profit depending on your risk tolerance. If you want it to be a little more risky and give your trade a little more time to breathe or a little bit more room to breathe, you can just leave your stop loss there. It all depends on your risk tolerance. But again, that's a stop loss video, not a take profit video. But there you go. You set it right below that resistance level. You wick, and then you get a little bounce. Let's see if we get another bounce down or if we're going to rip through to our next take profit level. So I'm going to go move this to our next take profit level and move time ahead. So you can see we did get a little bit of a resistance at that fib level. We came up, got rejected down, but now we're getting a second push to the upside. So our next target is going to be that resistance that is that 382 fib level right here, marked by this green and white line. And let's see if we can get it. Boom. Look at that. We came and we hit it perfectly, smashed right through the level, and now looks like we could be flipping it to support. Now, I recommend setting about 3 take profits. That was 2 levels, so technically our next level would be right above this 0.5 level right here. So that would be our third take profit level. You could set 4. You could set as many as you want. It's all dependent on how much of your trade you're taking out at each take profit level. But, you know, you could say, I know the golden pocket is very strong. It's likely that we could come up and test that. But let's see if we can come up and hit this level, or if we're just going to fall down from here. And look at that. We did go for a little bit of a ride here, but we did come up and smash that next take profit. We actually did make it up to that golden pocket before getting a really harsh rejection to the downside. But you could see that golden pocket did give us a pretty hard rejection. And let's see if this thing continues to the upside. And it does. Where is that next level it's going to reject? I'm going to go ahead and double click on my fib, and I'm going to extend my lines to the right just to get look at that. We smashed through the golden pocket, rejected off of that 786, which is very likely. If you're looking for a likely place for price to react on your fib levels, the golden pocket and the 786 are very common targets for price to pull back to. As you can see here, we ripped through the golden pocket. If you break the golden pocket, it's likely you'll get a reaction off that 786. We got one here before coming all the way back down, and then we came all the way back up and tapped it almost to the dollar. But the main idea idea here, guys, that I want to get across is that you get reactions off of these levels. Sometimes you smash through a fib level, and that's fine, but you know if you have the levels on your chart, you know what to look for. And again, I would more focus on the 786 and that golden pocket for the levels to watch and really seriously consider taking profits at. But essentially, all you're doing is using the fib tools to get support and resistance levels on your chart. If you're longing, you're going to want to take profits right before you hit resistance. And if you're shorting, you're going to want to take profits right before you come to support. This was a long example, so we were taking profits right before each fib level. And if you had profit targets up here, you'd want to take it right before that 786. Now, for our third tool that you can use to find your take profit levels. Now, this one is the easiest of the three methods, although all three of them are pretty easy. But this one is essentially done for you. Now, a little caveat here. Obviously, the last two methods are completely free for you to use on TradingView, but this last one will require Lux Algo Premium, which is one of my favorite indicators that I use on a day-to-day basis. And one of the really cool features about Lux Algo is the fact that it gives you take profit signals. So if you don't want to set your levels or those high volume nodes or those best areas to take your profit, you could let Lux Algo do the work for you. Now, I would recommend having your levels set and using the Lux Algo signals as confirmations to take profit, but it does automatically tell you where to take profit. So let's go ahead and say that you want to enter a long position here. Now, in this case, there really is no way to set the level before the price action plays out. So I'm going to go ahead and do this the right way. I went ahead and pulled a fib from this high all the way to this low, and I want to see if the Lux Algo take profit signals line up with where I would take profit. Now, on the way up here, the main levels I would really watch at this point would be that 0.5 level and that golden pocket to really start pulling some profit. So the first level I'm going to go ahead and set right here at that 0.5 level or just below it, just in case we don't come up and kiss the level exactly. And we'll just pull, stop loss is for another video. But the bottom line here is we're targeting the 0.5 just before it and that golden pocket just before it. And if we come up any higher, the next level I would look at is that 786. But let's turn on Lux Algo Premium. And what we're looking for are these X's, right? On the way down, you get red X's, and those indicate maybe a good time to take profit. And we'll back test this a couple of times after I show you this live example. But let's go ahead and move time forward. Price just kind of moves around a little bit. Now we're getting a move. So you can see right there, you get that blue X, signaling that it might be a good time to take profit. And you would have gotten at least a 1% move. So you can either take a little bit of profit there, or you can wait to actually come up to your fib level. But these Lux Algo signals are very, very accurate. So might be a good idea to take a little bit, at least maybe 20% off the table. So you could take profit at that Lux Algo signal right there. But again, we are really waiting for that 0.5 fib level to really start considering taking a lot of the profit out. But maybe you take 20% out at that Lux Algo signal, and let's see. And boom. Okay, so price rips right up to the 0.5 level. We would have taken another chunk of our trade out there, and now our next target is going to be right below that golden pocket. Now, we did not get a take profit signal from Lux Algo, but let's see if we can get one up at this golden pocket. And boom, there it is. You get another take profit level. Lux Algo kind of nudging you, maybe saying, hey, this move might be coming to an end. Pay yourself before price turns back around. And let's see if we can get another push up, or if we just dump from here. Boom, and you do get a push up right into our take profit right before that golden pocket. And let's see. And then you get your sell signal. Now, this golden pocket would have been our last take profit level anyway, but if you still had a little bit left in the trade, sometimes with that sell signal confirmation right here, that could indicate, hey, you're getting a sell confirmation here with your candle colors turning from green to purple. It may indicate some consolidation or a trend reversal. So if I had any money left in this trade, I would probably close out the entire trade based off of this sell signal. So we wrote it up for 1%. Took profit at that blue X, which was the Lux Algo signal, wrote it up to 7% profit, got another Lux Algo signal right there with that blue X. We took out a little more out of the trade, and then we hit our final take profit right before that golden pocket, got that sell confirmation, signaling that it might be time to completely cut the trade. Price might reverse, and let's go ahead and play price and see what happened. And then boom, you can see we came down. And if you wanted to short this on the way down, maybe off of this bearish divergence forming, you could just for a little bonus test here, grab that short position tool, get in on that sell confirmation, or maybe your candle colors turning red, depending on your strategy. Set your take profit above that golden pocket, and you could either target your fib levels or just wait for those Lux Algo confirmations. And you can see we did get a take profit right here for a nice little 3% move, and then from there to your second move was another additional almost 5%. So these Lux Algo take profits are very, very helpful, and something to remember here is on Lux Algo, there are 3 take profits for any given sell or buy signal. Now, you don't want to trade these buy and sell signals, just buy and sell based off of these. You want to use them as confirmations to your additional TA, but anytime you see a strong sell or a regular sell signal, you will see 3 red X's is the maximum amount of take profits, and you can see right here, you get a red X there, indicating you should take some profit there, take a little bit more off the table right there, and maybe a little more off the table right there. And you can see right here, this take profit signal did pop up right at this 382 fib level, so you did have some confluence there, just showing you guys kind of how you can see this stuff. And then you can see here, you got a nice move to the upside, take profit about halfway through the move, another take profit up here, and then you get that last move all the way up. But these take profit signals are super helpful. So guys, I hope that helps you guys out. I constantly get asked this question on my channel, in comments, or on my live stream, where should I set my take profits? And the quick answer is there's a million different methods, but essentially the base fundamentals you want to remember is that you don't just want to take a random percentage. You want to find your support and resistance levels, whether you're using Fibonacci tools, regular horizontal support and resistance, high volume nodes, points of control, value area highs, whatever it might be, order blocks, whatever support and resistance method you use, you're going to want to take profit on your shorts right before those support levels. And you're going to want to take profit on your longs right before those resistance levels. Now, I prefer using the volume profiles just because you get that little extra in-depth look into the market by seeing where the volume is and where the volume gaps are. And we just know with the value area high and the POC and the value area low, we know when price breaks certain levels, what is likely to happen. So I do like using the volume profiles, but Fibonacci levels work great. And don't sleep on those Lux Algo take profit levels. If you guys want to sign up for Lux Algo, the CandleMafia can save 20% off on all the Lux Algo subscriptions, I believe, except for the lifetime, but they have monthly subscriptions, quarterly subscriptions, yearlies, lifetimes, and you could save 20% on all of them except for the lifetime. And they do a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can go ahead, get it, throw it on your chart, test out these take profit signals, and if they don't work, you could get your money back in full. Link in the description down below if you guys want to check that out. And with all that being said, guys, I think that's all I got for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candle out.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey, on the road, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know, on demand.